Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the 1894 podcast. Welcome back. We've been away for a little bit now, and we do apologise for that. But things have gone in the way, and uh, yeah, we're back now. What was the last game we talked about? Coventry, was it? So yeah, um,
Oh,
you've muted
yeah,
yourself, Matisse. There we go.
yeah.
Yeah, this is died well, isn't it?
Not learned from my previous mistakes, but no, yeah. Since we haven't done the last 2-3-0 losses, which weren't probably wouldn't have been fun to talk about anyway.
That's why we lost 3-0 because we didn't cover both of them.
Yeah.
That's why. Um, Yeah, but we're back, and let's talk about what unfolded yesterday at Ashton Gate, where it was Bristol City 2, Oxford United 1, in BS3. Without any further ado, let's just go. Let's just go straight for it. For Bristol City, this was the starting 11 along the bottom if you're watching on YouTube. It was Max O'Leary in goal, George Tanner, Zach Viner, Luke McNally, Hayden Roberts. We'll talk about both of them in a minute because Luke McNally and Hayden Roberts both made appearances at Blackburn. Joe Williams in midfield with Max Bird, who was playing a little bit deeper today. Jason Knight was actually occupying a further 10 role with Scott Twine and Addison Metty on the kind of wings and Sinclair Armstrong up top. Before I get your thoughts on the Bristol City team, Matisse, this was the Oxford team. It was Jamie Cumming in goal, Peter Chiozo, Captain Elliot Moore, Kieran Brown, Greg Lee make up the back four, Josh Bakeka and Ruben Rodriguez, Idris Mazuni make up midfield three, Tyler Goodrum and Sariki Dembele on the right and the left, and Mark Harris as the sole striker up top. What are your thoughts on that Bristol City team then?
This is kind of one of my more ideal lineups, probably with the team that we have. With that back four, it's nice to see Aidan Robertson. Obviously, McNally is going to be playing till Dickie's fit, but yeah, playing Bird a bit further back, I guess. I mean, obviously he had that insane performance. I forgot who it was against now. It was in our Millwall game when we won 4-3. He was brilliant, but yeah, I'd probably like to see him. Well, I want to see him, especially when we first signed him, a bit further back. But yeah, I was happy that Anna started as well. Armstrong definitely more of a presence and a better starting player for us, especially in the Championship. After we saw how Mayulu did in the last game, and yeah, no you, but he's obviously still kind of getting back into squad. He obviously came on in the second half. We'll get onto him then, but yeah, he'll definitely see himself starting very soon, and probably the next match.
Yeah, that Swansea game is might be Yu Hirakawa's first start the wrist shirt. Let's talk about the game then. No further ado. Well, we haven't talked about the narrative actually going into this with obviously Liam Manning. A lot of the players in our squad, quite a considerable portion of it, coming either directly from Oxford or kind of indirectly from Oxford via Burnley or QPR. So a lot of narrative going into this game. Do you think that played a factor in the build up to it?
Yeah, I think it does. Even I reckon as a team and as a manager, Manning and City, we didn't want to go in there like with that narrative that it's Oxford. I obviously managed them before, etc., etc. But it definitely plays a part for us as well. Obviously, after the back of those 2-3-0 losses, this was a must-win anyway. In everyone's opinion, we needed to get these 3 points, especially at home. And the fact that it's Oxford, and obviously they saw this as a big opportunity to beat us. That's where they're still ahead of us in the league by a point. But yeah, obviously with the players and the manager. Yeah, it was a big game, and I mean, you were there. I wasn't there with the atmosphere, but I mean, I'm sure you can tell me about the atmosphere. But I reckon those Oxford fans were very hyped up to win that game.
Yeah, it was a a funny one actually because the Oxford fans before the game were quite loud. They started singing quite well, and obviously the goal helped them. But felt a bit disappointing actually. I don't mean this in any disrespect to Oxford. I'm sure they're great set of fans, but felt considering 3,500 were brought down. They were given a whole stand as they are in the Atio. it's a bit disappointing, but oh well. Um, let's talk about the game then. Bristol City started, I'd say, probably the better team for the first 20 minutes. Hayden Roberts had a shot saved by Jamie Cumming, and Matty had a shot that was saved at the near post by him, which was held. It didn't feel like we were creating too many big chances, or we didn't create too many big chances. Sinclair Armstrong had a header just flashed wide, but apart from that, it was a bit of a funny one because we had most of the possession. We looked the more threatening side, but Oxford with Dembele, with Rodriguez, with Mark Harris and Goodrum always posed a threat on the counter attack, which we expected.
Yeah, definitely. I have to admit, I'm not a fake fan. I didn't watch the game. It was possible for me to find, but no, yeah, we started off right. We started off right, not just because we lost those 2 games, but no, we started off right. And yeah, it was positive to see. And yeah, on that point again, yeah, I reckon there's definitely pressure on the players to perform. I can't believe there were people like talking about manning out already, like straight away. It was like 2 games. I mean, I understand, especially after an international break, you go and put in another terrible performance and concede 6 goals in 2 games, which we haven't talked about really, but we don't want to. But yeah, no, it was a good start. Joe Williams getting a yellow card within 10 minutes. I mean, it's just what he's going to get a match ban like before Christmas. But yeah, no, good start.
Before Christmas, if we're lucky, to be honest.
Yeah.
Next
Actually, that's
international
probably
break.
correct. He's already on what, 3 or 4 probably.
He's already on 3, yeah.
But yeah, 28 minutes in, and Oxford go 1-0 up. I'll talk through the goal. Why not? Because I still have seen the goal. It is Rodriguez. It's a bit of a little bit of a scammy goal. He does go for the pass. Not like it's a shot, but it's just deflected. I think there's 3 players in there altogether. I think it's off Viner or Tanner in there, and then it just kind of launches up, and then it just falls to Rodriguez. And yeah, Max can't really do anything. He just stands there, and yeah, he just puts it past him. 1-0, and yeah, I think a lot of disappointed fans, especially after a relatively bright start, and you're going 1-0 down against Oxford of all teams.
Teams like Oxford, am I right? That's a joke, by the way. Evening, guys. I'm assuming that's Patch. Hello to you. If not, hi Matt. But yeah, let's talk about the goal then for Oxford. They scored. Just before that, actually, for about 5 minutes, it felt like we'd lost a little bit of control in the game from what I saw from the stands. Anyway, it felt like we lost a little bit of the control. Weren't keeping the ball quite as well, and Oxford slowly, gradually go into the game. Goodrum, El Mazzuni in midfield, and by this point, Josh McCracken's gone out, but just added a little bit something different in that midfield. I can't say his name. Will Volks, 2 W and a V. It just doesn't work, does it? But yeah, add a little bit something different. Oxford just started to gain a little bit of control, and then Dembele, he did this quite a few times actually. He came in from the left hand side, drifted inside, and we just didn't really get close to him. George Tanner, well, that's on Tanner, McNally, Viner, whoever it is, all the midfielders just didn't really get close to him, and then drifted inside. He plays the ball infield into trying to get into the box centrally. Takes a bit of a lucky deflection, and Matisse, I don't know about you, but after that, it's kind of, well, you can't really do much from a defensive point of view after that deflection has happened. And yeah, Ruben Rodriguez puts it over Max to make it 1-0.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky, I'd say, but yeah, disappointing at the same time. We couldn't close the shot or the pass down, and then it just managed to find itself through to Rodriguez, and then yeah, relatively early goal in terms of the whole game. And yeah, disappointing, but we had to push on. Still a long way to go. We've shown we can make comebacks at Ashton Gate. So all hope was not lost. But yeah, it did go into half time at 1-0. But then that halftime substitution of Yu Hirokawa. I mean, you saw him live in the flesh. But yeah, going out in the second half. Usually we come out at after halftime quite poorly.
Normally because we're ahead.
Yeah, that is also true. But yeah, down. Yeah, we're not usually down at half time. But yeah, talk us through the start of the second half.
Well, just before that, actually, Oxford hit the bar uh, with Siriki Dembele, who has a shot from about 25 yards out. It's the same thing again. No one gets close to him at all, and he scores after that, and it's disappointing from a City perspective that no one gets close to him. But yeah, Dembele hits the bar. We're going
Do we
into
talk about
half
the
time.
Harris scrum?
That was second half, wasn't it? That was
That
just
was second
before.
half.
That, that was second half. Yeah, yeah. I'll talk about that in a minute because Christ, that
Mm.
is sliding doors moment for Oxford. That. But yeah, hits the bar. A lot of booze at half time, which was yeah. I mean, interesting. But yeah, I mean, understandable to be fair because there was a really disappointing first half performance. It was a bit disjointed. But yeah, second half comes about, and I think a lot of people had what we started with in the second half as our first as the team we'd have played because it was Joe Williams who went out at halftime for Yu Hirakawa, and that meant Max Bird and Jason Knight. Jason Knight moved a little bit deeper from that 10 position into that eight-ish into the double pivot. Hirakawa on the right, Twine centrally instead of out wide on the left-hand side, and Mehmeti on the right on the left. And we looked a hell of a lot more threatening. And straight away, you could just sense that we were a lot more kind of coordinated in terms of our attacking play. But still, even with that, didn't really create too many big chances in the first sort of 15-ish minutes of the first half. And then Mark Harris
Mm.
misses. I would have said probably the easiest chance of the championship season, but if you'd have seen Ebou Adams as miss a derby against Cardiff, you know,
Mm.
maybe slightly different. But it is a horrendous miss. Des Buckingham said in this post-match interview that he got his timings wrong. Mark Harris scored one of the best goals of the season, probably up there for goal of the season in the championship at Blackburn, where he volleyed it in from about 35 yards out. The same strikers missed from about 6 yards out, and when it's got a tap in on an open net. Talk us through that, and talk us through how that then goes on to affect, well, the later play in the game.
Well, yeah, it's massive. I mean, it starts on the right hand side. McNally kind of gets kind of skinned. He can't make a decision. And then ball's played past him, and then Harris. It's a good movement from him. He gets in behind Viner, and it comes to him. And I think he's just half a step too back, and he's stretched out. But it's a sitter. He should be getting there, and he should be scoring that. And yeah, puts it wide, which is it's just incredible. And we are so lucky there because that's obviously a crucial point in the game. 2-0, and I don't know exactly what minute that was, but yeah, then that really changes the atmosphere. Probably would have made it very toxic within the home fans, and yeah, we most likely obviously probably don't even get a point out of it. I mean, you never know, but it's fine margins, and that is football. That is the championship. So yeah, I got away with that one there, but we take that, and yeah, we push on, and I guess Harris will and Oxford will definitely regret that, and look back on that chance because ended up changing the game a lot. But yeah, that one goal from making it 1-0 to 2-0 is always crucial in games, especially in early points in the second half.
Let's talk about our equaliser then, because it was pretty well crafted equaliser as well. Jason Knight has played down the right hand side. The ball is cut back. I thought it was going to go edge of the box like it always does, and Oxford are going to clear it. No, it's actually a decent ball into the box, and Sinclair Armstrong is free. It's from what I thought from first glance in the stands, it was a bit of poor goalkeeping from Jamie Cumming. It's a bit of both, isn't it? It's poor goalkeeping, but it's also a good strike from Sinclair Armstrong who buries it. And after that, all the momentum is with Bristol City, and almost felt inevitable that we were going to get a second goal.
Yeah, it starts from Hirakawa as well. He takes a really nice touch and plays it to Jason Knight. I think it's the weight on the pass is also perfect for Armstrong. It's got a bit of pace on it so that he can hit it first time, and it just happens quite quickly that keeper probably should have done a better job. But yeah, it goes at a decent pace through his legs and relatively nice finish. And yeah, 1-1 in the what was the exact minute? What a decent point in the game at get it up now at the 57th. So yeah, no, great goal. Brilliant from Knight, like you said, probably expected cutback, but found a bit of space in the box. And another goal for Armstrong. Does that make him on 3 now for the season? I think in the
I think it's 2, isn't it? He scored against Millwall. Might be 2. Yeah, 2.
Just 2. Fine.
Still good.
Yeah, good goal, good finish, and yeah, puts us straight back into the game. Over half an hour to go, and yeah, puts hope back into the game. And yeah, good goal. Happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah. After that, it was all us, as I mentioned. It looked quite dominant in Oxford. You could sense they were a little bit short on quality. We just had a little bit more quality in terms of how we kept the ball. And looked like a really good Liam Manning side. Looked like a side that was comfortable on the ball, kept rotating it, kept moving, kept passing, just kept wearing the opposition down. And that coupled with Naki Wells coming on, which I think made a massive difference for Sinclair Armstrong. And I was a little bit very skeptical actually when he took Sinclair Armstrong out at that point in the game for Naki Wells, but. In the end, we've criticised Manning's substitutions, haven't we, in the past, and the not so distant past either. But that was a really, really good one, because not only did Naki Wells score that winning penalty, if you just park that to the side for 1 minute, he performed really well from what I thought, and dragged Elliot Moore and Kieran Brown around, creating space for like Scott Twine. Maybe something Sinclair Armstrong didn't quite do as well as he should have probably done in the game. But Naki Wells' clever movement, isn't the kind of nimbleness really, rat-like behaviour is what I'd say. Really helpful, and massively, massively important in us getting the 3 points, I think.
Yeah, and Naki still has a good role to play in this squad. Obviously, we thought with Armstrong and Mayulu coming in, that he'd probably get very little game time. But as everyone knows, I'm the biggest Naki Wells fan. So yeah, great to see him come on, get some minutes, and score a goal. The winner, which we'll get onto. But yeah, no, great to see him come in. Yeah, he just has a kind of different kind of role. He holds the ball up well. He creates space for other players, like you said. And yeah, I think he does that really well. So probably going to be the last season we see him here, realistically. But I still think he can do a job. And yeah, good performance for him.
Let's talk about the winner then, because it's filth from Yu Hirakawa.
It is brilliant.
He's so good. That boy is ridiculously talented. And apparently we have some sort of ridiculously cheap buy clause for him as well, which if we don't trigger within the next 2 milliseconds, the point is he looks really talented, and someone who I'm sure will, if as the season carries on, will get more and more involved in the squad. I think Manning and Naki Wells both mentioned the fact that he's kind of taken a little bit of time to adapt to English football, to England in general. So maybe once we get around, to the busier periods, he'll be a regular in the starting 11. But yeah, good to have someone like him, because he made a real difference. Was a natural winger. Surprise! We looked a bit more threatening, but it's a brilliant crossfield ball to find Hayden Roberts, who in that moment was excellent to get right forward, didn't he? And I'm not sure who it was. Was it Elliot Moore? I think for Oxford, kind of half chopped him a little bit, and I didn't think it was a penalty, to be honest. But I know what you thought from first angle. I didn't think it was a penalty, but referee gave a penalty, and up steps Naki Wells to go and bury it.
Yeah, I think it's very soft. To be honest, I'm not sure. As well. He does cut it back. He does clip him, but it's really weak. It could go either way for me, but we take them. So yeah, happy with that. But yeah, it starts from Hirakawa. He stretches the play on the right hand side. He takes a brilliant touch. He's just brilliant. Uses physicality to get round, and Twine takes it off him, plays it back in the midfield, and then he takes a beautiful touch with his right just to open up the space. And then yeah, the pass is brilliant. It's just got a perfect way, a perfect curl to it to find Hayden Roberts, and then yeah, it goes down. Like we said, take the penalty. Naki Wells steps up, and we will always trust Naki Wells to put away a penalty. I mean, the last one, I always remember it for some reason, is that Norwich Panenka from a good few years ago back, where he skied it. But other than that, he is the most trustworthy penalty taker. We don't talk about Philmy Conway ever again. But yeah, no, what a penalty. I mean, what a penalty. Keeper dives the right way, but no one is saving that, and he just launches it into the top right at a good pace as well. And yeah, 2-1, 75th minute, comeback complete, and yeah, brilliant stuff.
Even after that goal for us, you'd expect Oxford to come and like play a little bit more and not be as direct and maybe have a little bit more intricate passing. Des Buckingham actually at 1-1 takes off Ruben Rodriguez, who is an attacking midfielder, sort of like a Scott Twine type of role, and brings on a striker. So he's probably gone for it at that point. Maybe that's left him a little bit exposed, but he certainly wasn't backing down. But after that, Oxford barely got a foothold in the game again. We passed the ball around really well, created a few good chances even after that, to be honest. So, yeah, really good how we saw the game out, which I was impressed by, and hopefully that's the sign of things to come on my leading in the future, with not so much time to go. But yeah, after that, that's about it, to be honest. Oxford didn't really create much, and we didn't create too much, but we had a lot more better openings, I'd say. Is what my take would be. Yeah, that's probably all about. That's about it on the game, to be honest. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about Swansea briefly before we wrap things up in this shorter version of the podcast. What are your Swansea are doing quite well at the moment because they're 7th in the league, and they've won the last 2 games. They've beaten Coventry away, which is not a tough place, which is not a easy place to go at all, is what I'm trying to say. And they beat Norwich at home, who are obviously, Norwich in the Championship are always going to be a difficult game, if that's at Carrow Road or at home. So yeah, they've started the season quite well. Luke Williams is a good manager. I like him. I think he's a decent manager. So then they look quite good.
Yeah, we were linked to Luke Williams. Well, he was a name that floated around.
He was like academy manager or something. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Obviously from Notts County. That's going to come up to a year now, probably, since Manning came in. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy game away from home again. But yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't talk too much about the results before. But yeah, conceding goals was our worry after those 2 games, and it's kind of a big thing because we've already conceded 12 in 6 games, which is an average of 2 a game, which we need to fix up a lot, considering that is what we relied on our defense for the last couple seasons, really. And now we have the problem of scoring goals. But we did it well yesterday. I think we can do well. Sunday, 3 p.m. kickoff. I think we can use the momentum. And I think we can get a result. It's not going to be easy, but I think might have turned a corner there, might have given us a bit of a boost after 2 tough away days. But yeah, obviously our away form isn't looking that great. We're yet to get a win away from home, but hopefully we can change that. But yeah, it's still great to say that we're unbeaten at home. That is one good thing to have. Hopefully we can continue that. But yeah, no, I reckon we can get a result at Swansea. What do you think?
I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be 2 managers who want to play good football, if you know what I mean, on the passing football. Luke Williams wants that, so does Liam Manning, obviously. If Hirakawa starts, it'll be interesting to see how he fares in probably a 60-70 minute game compared to coming off the bench. But yeah, I think we've got the quality. I think if it's round pegs and round holes, if that's what Liam Manning goes for, instead of shoehorning players to shoehorn other players into different positions they're not comfortable with, I think we do have a good chance. I think quality wise, we're probably quite similar to Swansea in a lot of ways. Squads are quite similar. So I think it'll be a tight game. There were always good games at the Swansea.com stadium, as it's now called. Was it last season? We won there, didn't we? Last season, with Mark Sykes and Sam Bell scoring on that day. So yeah, I think we've got a decent chance of going there and getting something. To be honest, they are performing a little bit better than us at the moment. But there's no reason why we can't go there and get something. I'll take a point at Swansea. I would, even though that's probably not a great mentality to go with. But it wouldn't if we come out of South Wales with a point, it would not be the worst thing in the world. Saying that, let's go to score predictions. What's your score predictions ahead of that game?
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a tight game. I definitely also agree. Get a point out of it, and I'd be happy with that. I'll go for 2-2. High scoring, draw, and yeah, go on goals for Hirakawa and Twine back on the score sheet because I want to see him. But yeah, I reckon we take a point. Hopefully we win. Still, we'll wait for our first away win, but yeah, realistically take a point out of that game.
Yeah, I would as well. I'd anticipate quite a tight game. They'll be probably up for this, considering that they probably see this as quite a good chance to beat us, and maybe a little bit of revenge for last season when we beat them twice, at Ashingate and at their place. I'll go for a 1-1. I think we've got. Well, hopefully, we start to perform a little bit better defensively. I think McNally coming into that team, especially yesterday, it felt like we had some sort of brick wall with McNally at the back. Every time the ball came anywhere near him, it was just boots straight out of play. He's not a, I'll try and pass it first and try and play it through the thirds. He's just I will head it clear and kick it clear a defender, which is good to have. So hopefully him. Zach Vine has been a bit off it this season. Hopefully he starts to pick up performances. But if we can grind out a point at Swansea, would be not a bad result. A clean sheet would be nice as well. But
yeah,
one thing is fine. But yeah, I'll go for a 1-1 draw. Maybe some sort of we go 1-0 up. Maybe they have a little bit of a surge and we shake hands on a point or something, which should not be a bad result. But I think that's about it, to be honest. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below on yesterday's game. This recording on Saturday, and also ahead of that trip to South Wales, where we've got a full away end at the Swansea.com stadium, which will be fantastic for the Shrouding City fans. And hopefully we are rewarded with back-to-back wins as well. Any grubby way will do, Bristol City. Any grubby way will do. Matisse, do you want to sign off quickly before
yeah,
disappear
no.
into our life?
Last thoughts, probably. Yeah, I want to see that lineup that we saw in the second half of last game. See how Hirakawa does. And yeah, no. Lastly, thank God we signed Luke McNally as well, because if we had to live with Naismith back then until Dickie was back, we probably would have conceded 20 by now. But no offense to Naismith. But no, yeah. We go next Sunday. Haven't been not a lot of congested games so far this season. We haven't had a lot of obviously we got knocked out of the cup early, so got another week now, Sunday kickoff. So yeah, hopefully we get.
Then it's midweek, isn't it? First midweek of the season. Sheffield Wednesday at home after that.
Yeah. Got Wednesday, and then we have Cardiff, and then we've got another international break. Which is crazy. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, let us know if you like these bit shorter versions, see how they do. Yeah, give your comments, predictions, and all that good stuff. Follow our socials and subscribe. Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone, wherever you are, and we will catch you all later, very soon, I hope. Thank you very much for watching.